into this mix.
Hey everyone, this is Derrick Broze with the Conscious Resistance Network. Today is September 11th, 2017, and this is the 16th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks, one of the worst days in American history, recent American history, when America was supposedly, according to the U.S. government's official story, attacked by Al-Qaeda, being led by Osama bin Laden, 19 men, hijacking several planes, crashing them into the World Trade Centers, crashing them into the Pentagon, and crashing one plane into a field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Now, I just want to do a brief report. For those of you who follow my work, you know that I have talked about 9/11 truth for some time now. I've done a couple mini documentaries. I've written several articles, dozens of articles over the years that explore these topics and these ideas and why we should be concerned and what questions we should ask. But today I'm just going to focus on one brief aspect of this this important issue of looking into whether or not we are told the truth about everything on 9/11. And that is that on Wednesday, Dr. Leroy Holsey of the University of Alaska Fairbanks, he held a press conference of sorts. He gave a presentation titled A Structural Reevaluation of the Collapse of World Trade Center 7, September 2017 Progress Report. And this is the result of his 2-year study, modeling study, done into the events of 9/11, particularly in the collapse. And Dr. Leroy Holsey, he specializes in engineering, civil engineering. He's the chair of civil engineering at the University of Alaska Fairbanks. He started this research with his team in April 2015, and now they are concluding their study. They are nearly done, but he's able to release the conclusions, which is that, in his own words, let me quote him, that our study shows that World Trade Center 7 did not collapse because of fires. Now, this is World Trade Center 7, not the main 2 towers that were hit by planes, but a third building that some people are not aware at 5:20 in the afternoon, several hours later, was not hit by a plane. It collapsed at nearly free fall speed. Now, the official government story is that some of the debris that hit the Twin Towers started fires on World Trade Center 7, and the fires spread across, and that caused thermal expansion, which is essentially the heating of the supportive columns and the girders, and this caused a buckling, which the weight fell underneath itself and everything on top just collapsed down. But it's very weird because if you watch the collapse, it not only does it just all collapse down into a pile of rubble, but nearly everything incinerates. It turns into dust. It disappears, as in a controlled demolition or something of the sort. And this has been theorized by the architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth. They've also done physical evidence studies and over the years, and just so many different angles that people have looked at this. But World Trade Center 7 has been the focus for some time now. And if you've never looked into this, then please research World Trade Center 7. Watch the collapse of those buildings if you haven't ever seen them. And you can find my full article on this on mintpressnews.com. It just came out today, and I'm actually currently in D.C. I'm going to be at a press conference being held this afternoon by the architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth, where they will be discussing this further. And the official study will be open to the public in October and November, and then it'll be set for peer review for the months after that, and they're going to submit it to peer-reviewed journals. And hopefully this could create a change in the way Americans look at 9/11. But when you stop and think about this, this was announced last Wednesday, so it's been out for almost a week now. Have you heard about this in any of the deadstream corporate media? Have you heard about this in even the independent alternative media? They seem to be maybe not aware that this is taking place. It's up to each of us as individuals who think this should be a front page story, that this is a very important story, to spread this information. Because if you question the collapse of World Trade Center 7 and you say, okay, that couldn't have happened because of office fires, well, then you have to go into, well, what brought it down? The architects and engineers say that it had to have been brought down by controlled demolition, and they say there's evidence for explosives that had to have been placed, charges throughout the building like any standard controlled demolition. And if that happened, then you have to say, okay, well, did the terrorists have access to the buildings for months ahead of time in order to do this? Or did somebody else with access to World Trade Center 7 rig the building with explosives? And if that building came down because of explosives, did the other 2 buildings come down because of explosives? And that creates a whole new set of questions, and that causes us to rethink everything we've been told about 9/11. And it's important to do that. This has been going on now. We're 2017. We're nearly 20 years away from this event, where many of the people alive today weren't aware. They were children, or if even born yet now, that when 9/11 happened. You have kids who it's just a meme to them. They don't really understand this. But I remember being in high school and watching the buildings come down, and I know that we are being lied to, and I will continue as a journalist and as an activist to look into this. And I implore you, I request of you to please look into this and do research. There's plenty of documentaries out there. I don't stand by all of them, but it's important to start asking questions and looking into this and understanding that we were lied to about 9/11. So thank you guys for listening. Please do watch the presentation from Dr. Leroy Holsey and read the article at mintpressnews.com, and continue to investigate and to research 9/11. Never forget 9/11, and never forget to question what they tell you about 9/11. Thank you guys so much for your support. If you appreciate this report, please consider signing up for me on my Patreon, signing up to be a monthly supporter at patreon.com/Derrick Broze. And thank you guys for listening. Remember, you are powerful, you are beautiful, you are free. Peace.